Dandelion Song here, and I do want to lighten up a little bit. I want to finally bring you this unicorn post that I've been wanting to bring you from this. This is a British Library typepad.co.uk/digits ed manuscripts / probably that's enough, because then we're on this page where we find a unicorn cookbook found at the British Library. So I want to get into this, but first I want to talk a little bit, but I wanted to bring it into the Ishtar Gate, because the Ishtar Gate not only has this splendor serpent on it, but it also has something that looks like a unicorn. So this is the unicorn aspect of the Ishtar Gate. It does look a little bit like a cow. It could be an auroch. The other fanciful creature here is the splendor serpent, which I have done videos on this before, and I found this creature in Paris, and I'm going to bring you there it really hopefully quick in this episode. I don't think I found the horn, so we should go back right now together and go look for the horn. And also, when I was looking for this creature in Paris, I thought it would have hooves, and so I want to go back and look at these claws on the back feet. It has bird claws on the back feet and looks like lion paws on the front foot, and it also has a horn. This gate was in ancient Babylon, and now it's in Berlin. I've done some work in ancient Babylon, and we need to go there and take a look at that. So this also shows unicorns, and the bulls are in profile, it says here. So here we come down to ancient Babylon. Now in my outro I have the Isis that I found here. You can see that when you zoom something in here, unless you come back out, you're not going to see the picture. But look here. It doesn't take too much to see that there is a woman drawn here. So I have her drawn in my outro. Well, this is where the Ishtar Gate is. It's actually right over here. Or it was. I don't know if there's anything there anymore. This is where it was in 1986. The other interesting part about this, as you can see, this is in the eye of the woman right here, and this is the place of the writing on the wall, Daniel 5, and this is that was described to be on the 32 meridian, and that is where this is. Also, this is Saddam's palace on this spiral here. Spiral is a very important word. A shell is an important word for Isis, Inanna Ishtar. Can't go into all that right now. There's a nice ziggurat right here that's kind of like a beauty mark on her face. I don't know if it won't let me show it to you right now. Well, the writing on the wall. Let's this line right here within the scope of her eyes. Now this, I would say this would be the center line of her sight. We know that eyes are very important. The symbolism of eye is very important. The UN equals 35 in symbol gematria, which equals eye. And we know that, of course, from our dollar bill, that the all-seeing eye is all very important. And I do believe that the all-seeing eye was originally meant to be the creator God that's above Yahweh. I don't think it's supposed to be Yahweh, and I don't think it's supposed to be, you know, the evil Anunnaki. I think that they might have associated themselves with it, you know, like, oh, I am the all-seeing eye. But I think the idea originally was, you know, basically a consciousness that can't be defined or named, which is probably more accurate than Yahweh. Okay, so here we have the eye, and inside the eye is ancient Babylon, and here's her eyesight. So the top of her vision goes straight to the Freedom Tower. And so if you're new to my channel, I have a lot of my older videos have a lot of earth tie-ins, which are very interesting, and I haven't seen anybody else bringing these to you, and I think they're very important. Just noticing this 84 right here. so this, so this goes directly to the Freedom Tower, and it continues in a straight line to the Washington Monument and the Georgia Guidestones. So probably has some poetic, symbolic meaning to the fall of the kingdom, of the divided kingdom. Look, they even have her cheek here. She has a little mouth. This I'm going to say is her tongue that's going to be inside her mouth. This spiral right here, and this would be her pineal gland. I know I still want to bring you the skull that is in London. I don't think it's going to be as interesting as this, but what if it turns out to be a woman? It could be Isis. Who knows? Okay, so also on this gate, on the Ishtar gate, was what they called a splendor serpent, and the people who studied this noticed that this creature was drawn so faithfully throughout hundreds of years that they believed that this was an actual creature, probably genetically engineered, and I'm going to say it was intelligent. And it looks like it has a horn here. So I found this creature in Paris. Let's take a quick look over there. We are going to come back to the unicorn cookbook, and I do want to look at some royal coats of arms so we can try to tie this in. We're not going to get it all tied in today, but we can try to tie in some of this. So here we come to Paris, and we can see again the woman right here as we zoom in. Here's the head of the Holy Child. I have a video on this. Now I should probably go back and look at my own video and make sure it's good. I wasn't as good at making videos then. I'm not saying I'm the best now, but I probably should redo this video because the subject matter is so important. So here we see Isis with the eye. Now let me show you Isis. Let's back out. In my intro, I show her drawn, and I don't think I show the drawing. I do show the final drawing of the Holy Child in a few, but not the time lapse of it. Well, if we come straight down from her head, we see this circle right here, and I thought, oh my gosh, this might be the womb of Isis. And then I was wondering if I was crazy, but then I saw this leg right here. See the leg? That would be her right leg, and this would be her left leg. And I never did investigate. Her left leg does point. Let's back out here. Her left leg does point to this city. This is an important city, actually having to do with, Joan of Arc. I don't know French history very well. I really wish I learned more French history. Hello to any French viewers that I have out there. I'd appreciate it if you would help expand my viewership over there, because I think I have a lot of interesting things that French people might not know about. All right. Anyway, so I was here one day and I was looking at this. I have a whole bunch of videos on this now, but here we have basically, this is the womb of Isis. We can see it between her two legs, and this is also Disneyland. This is Disney World. If you come in here, I don't have this overlay. I used to have an overlay here of the drawing that I did. This is a chalice. It's a double and I think it's at least a double layer chalice. It is 3.29 miles from the bottom of the chalice to the top. And there are twins in here. Well, I want to show you all this, but the reason why we came here is because they put a splendor serpent right here. It's almost like this is the kindergarten for the twins. I'll show you the twins in a second. So this is the splendor serpent, and this is actually pretty important. Not to tie in anything grim, but the shooting, which is probably a hoax. I haven't even taken a look at it, but the numbers are so suspicious already in Flagstaff, Arizona. I was just there coincidentally yesterday in Google Earth, and I noticed that the meridian over there is a 111 meridian. Well, it turns out that here on this splendor serpent, which has an S right here, see the head of the serpent? There's the only two dark roofs here are the eye and the nose, and this eye has a globus cruciger on it. See the globus cruciger? Zoom in. I've done videos on the globus cruciger. The globus cruciger is something that the royals carry to show their domain, what they rule over. And it points to the eye cosmology of our world, the toroidal field cosmology of our world, and that we could be inside the eye, say, of God. Not sure. Well, the reason why they have the cross on top is that this is the cross behind the eyes, and the cross is right in front of the pineal gland, and this is the same cross where Christ was crucified between the two thieves, which in the Bible codes those two thieves as eyes. It says the eyes are thieves, and so Christ is crucified between the two thieves on the cross, which would be the optic chiasma. And this is where the information from the, what they would call the good eye and the bad eye, this is where the information meets, right here. And this is the struggle of everyone's life. This would be the cross that you would bear, because you need to sort out in your life. You need to sort out your path among the dark and the light and the good and the evil. And that is the idea of the cross, having to do with brain cosmology. Well, I am getting to the 1-1 here. This heading, and I can't remember which way it goes. This is a 292 heading right here. Now the 292 heading, of course, I don't know if you can see this, bring it in here. Of course, if you add the 2 to the 9, that's an 11. If you add the 2 to the 9, that's an 11. So that would actually be 4 ones. So that would be the equivalent, I guess you could say, of November 11th. We'll go in the other way. Oops. Going the other way is the 1111. See? So this has something to do with the eye of the dragon. Now, this splendor serpent, according to my research, is kind of like the mascot for Marduk Ra, who was also known as Amun Ra. And so when all the Christians say Amen, they are saluting Amun Ra. And this is also the mascot of Marduk Ra. Now Marduk and Isis, Marduk and Ishtar Inanna, it's not that they didn't get along. They were sort of on different sides of the family. Marduk was trying to gain ascendancy, was trying to gain rulership in the age of the ram, and Isis was, or Inanna, her name was, see, these are long-lived beings, long-lived, and so they have many names. So that's why Inanna, Ishtar, Isis, they have many names, because they're very long-lived beings. And she was also parthenogenic, as you may realize if you study any of the history. Well, she was not against him. She mostly just tried to prevent war. And he, even though he was not a god and no one should pray to him, he was not so much a bad ruler. He was one of the better rulers of the ancient Sumerian times. He at least took the time to try to save his humans from the nuclear war of 2024. So we got to give him some credit for that. Here we have this creature's all dressed up for a parade, and they talk about the parades that would happen. The whole reason why they built the Ishtar gate was for the return, according to Zechariah Sitchin, was for the return of the 12th planet and the visit. They were expecting a visit from Anu, which would be the father of Enki and Enlil, the great father of the gods, of the Anunnaki gods. And so they built all these beautiful things waiting for him to arrive. Now the planet did arrive, but Anu didn't come down. I think he was becoming elderly and he wasn't able to make the trip. But that was why that gate was built. And if you read the book, The End of Days by Zechariah Sitchin, which I've brought to you in a few Back to the Books, but I haven't brought it to you completely, it talks about basically the people on Earth and the Anunnaki gods that were on Earth. They just kind of freaked out for like 60 years waiting for this planet to arrive, trying to get ready for the planet, and also trying to deal with some of the weather interruptions and possible chaos on the ground due to the return of the planet. So it's all very interesting, and we basically need to understand this. Now on the Ishtar gate, the splendor serpent has a horn. I don't see the horn here, although the horn on the gate comes straight off of its eye. So we could say that this globus cruciger right here is pointing to that. So getting back to the horn and the unicorn, but first of all here in Paris, And let's just, for people who haven't seen my videos before, let's take a quick zoom in here on the twins. There's a girl twin facing to your right. Here is her head. Her eye is right here on It's a Small World. Let me find it. Now I lost it. See the cheek? Here's the cheek. Here's the eye, right here. So actually, right, it's almost like she has, this is the front of her eye. It's a Small World. The little boy, okay, so I'll show you, she's also wearing something on her neck now. If she's the daughter of Isis, she would be along the lines of the sky goddess parthenogenic type of daughter line from Tefnut. Tefnut was the grandmother of Isis. She would also be the spoken word. So here along her throat chakra, she has a palace that has a trident on it and also a C. I don't exactly completely know all about this symbol. Now the little boy, okay, let me show you why I think this is a little girl. Here's her bottom, here's her bottom right here. See, this building is probably, and then here there's a hotel that this is her uterus, see? And it has the two parts that come up here. There's a lake. And a hotel is a place where you stay for a while, and that's also kind of like a uterus. And just to make sure that you know that they are talking about two legs, they do have these symbolic references to the legs over here. And then there's an entrance to the outside. You see? And this water is separate from the uterus, of course. It's like a bladder. Most women know that the uterus is sort of on top of the bladder. And then when it fills up with the baby, then you feel all that pressure on the bladder. Right, ladies? Okay, so here's the little boy. Let's find his, they really did a beautiful job here. So he comes around, this is his back, he has the parking lot in his chest. Maybe this is like a shield on his chest, I'm not sure. So this is his brow ridge. So he's facing a little bit more towards the camera. This would be his right eye. So he's facing this way. He's looking at this, you could say. So this is his left eye. I'm trying to picture. Yeah, that's his left eye. This is his right eye. And then he has a little face in here, and there's a cheek and a mouth, and he's facing this way. See this? This one eye and two eye, and this is his right eyebrow coming to the shape of his nose. This is his cheek. So he comes down here, and he has his arm around his sister. Now, we don't need to read anything nasty into this. It's just babies here. Okay. So they are embracing in the womb. Oh yeah, here's how he's a little boy. Where is it? So here's his little bottom, and his legs go this way. So see, there's his little bottom. Almost like an ultrasound, huh? I remember when I first saw my son's ultrasound, I thought I had a girl. I thought I was intuitive. I thought I knew. And then it was like, wow, I'm having a boy. I was excited, but a little afraid, because I was a little afraid of boys. But he's awesome. Okay, so let's see here. I think that is enough of that for now. If you're new to my videos, please check out my time lapses. I think it's very important. It's something, you know, there's other decoders who remember the history better. There's other decoders who stay on topic better, but there aren't so many who really tie in the geomancy and the drawings on the map the way that I do. I haven't found them yet. So, all right, let's go back to the unicorn over here. So a few stops along the way. Here we are in Stars and Stripes. I don't know how reputable they are, but they have an article that says that it comes out of the air base of South Korea, saying that North Korea says that they have found a unicorn lair belonging to King Tongyemun-mong, founder of this kingdom from 37 BC to 668 AD. And that is the time. Yes. That is the time of Zechariah Sitchin talks about the Ishtar Gate. So I'm not sure if that's exactly the time of the Ishtar Gate. So this would be the time where there might have been unicorns and these fanciful creatures. So it's only 200 meters from this temple, the Yongmyeong Temple, conveniently located in the capital. It says here that Korea's history books deal with the unicorn, considered to be ridden by the king, and the unicorn's lair. The discovery of the unicorn lair associated with the legends proves that Pyongyang was a capital city of ancient Korea. Alright, which is a quick stop here in North Korea. This is the area, this park. The temple was destroyed, but this park is the area of the lair of the unicorns. And there are a lot of nice public buildings here, including this one is a little bit famous, this Pyramid Hotel. I can't remember what has become of this. I had thought that it was in disrepair, so I don't know what exactly happened to that. But all right, we'll go back to unicorns. So this village in Poland, I guess, means unicorn in their language, and they have the unicorn for their coat of arms. And they say that this is a legend, but I'm going to tell. I don't think that unicorns were. I think they were real. So I want to show you this in this cookbook that I found in medieval times, from medieval times. So a little bit of the background here from the wiki says that it could only be captured by a virgin, according to the folklore. And it had its horn had the power to render poison water potable and to heal sickness. In the earliest description from Tetius, who in his book on India describes unicorns as wild asses. Now this sort of matches the unicorn of the Ishtar Gate. So Cosmas, who lived in the 6th century, made a voyage to India and subsequently wrote works on cosmography. He gives a description of the unicorn based on 4 brass figures in the palace of the king of Ethiopia, and he states from a report that it's impossible to take this ferocious beast alive, and that all its strength lies in its horn. When it finds itself pursued and in danger of capture, it throws itself from a precipice, turning aptly and falling, so that it receives all the shock upon the horn and escapes safe and sound. So there is a Bride of Christ connection here, because also the Virgin Mary can only be captured by a virgin. But I also noticed that in J.K. Rowling, when Harry Potter takes Ginny's hand, right behind them is a unicorn painting. And that is a Bride of Christ reference right there too. And also that she is virginal. So here it says, trapped by a maiden representing the Virgin Mary stood for the incarnation. As soon as the unicorn sees her, it lays its head on her lap and falls asleep, and this became a basic emblematic tag that underlies the medieval notions of the unicorn, justifying its appearance in every form of religious arts. Religious writers of medieval times interpreted the death of the unicorn as the passion of Christ. The myths refer to the beast with one horn that can only be tamed by a virgin. Subsequently, or possibly, a Pleiadian can only tame this beast, and she would be, because I believe the word virgin has been twisted from the word parthenogenic, which means Pleiadian. I mean, which the ancient Egyptian sky goddesses were parthenogenic, and there's a lot of symbolism that suggests they came from the Pleiades. So some of the fallen Anunnaki could possibly be Pleiadian, and then there would be also other Pleiadians who were not fallen. So I believe there's both kinds, and there's a large star system over there. All kinds of people would be there. So here it talks about the unicorn being the symbol of Scotland, and that when you see the coat of arms of England, that and where it has the lion and the unicorn, that's the merging of Scotland and England. So in Scotland, the coins were called unicorns. And zooming in here, you can see the unicorns, and this kind of looks like a lion or a dragon right here. But here's another unicorn. So this blog is Medieval Manuscripts blog, British Library .typepad.co.uk, digitized manuscripts. And this talks about a unicorn cookbook that was found at the British Library. A long-lost medieval cookbook containing recipes for hedgehogs, blackbirds, and even unicorns has been discovered at the British Library. Professor Brian Trump of the British Medieval Cookbook Project described as the find is near miraculous. We've been hunting for this book for years. The moment I set my eyes on it, it was spine-tingling. So this is a detail of a unicorn on a grill in Geoffrey Fewell's cookbook, England in mid-14th century. Experts believe that the cookbook was compiled by Geoffrey Fewell, who worked in the kitchens of Philippa of Hainault, Queen of England from 1328 to 1369, and he had a reputation for blending unusual flavors. One scholar called him the Heston Blumenthal of his day, and everything points to his hand behind the compilation of this cookbook. After recipes for herring, tripe, cod swallop, a fish stew, a popular dish in the Middle Ages, comes that beginning taketh one unicorn. The recipe calls for the beast to be marinated in cloves and garlic and then roasted on a griddle. The unicorn's compiler, doubtless Geoffrey Fewell himself, added pictures in its margins depicting the unicorn being prepared and then served. Sarah J. Biggs, a British Library expert on medieval decoration, commented that the images are extraordinary and almost exactly as we'd expect them to be, if not better. So she doesn't look happy to be involved in this project. From what we've just learned, she might have been instrumental in catching. She probably made friends with the unicorn, right? That's how they caught them, apparently. A lady bringing the unicorn's head to the table. The recipe for cooking blackbirds is believed to be the origin of the traditional English nursery rhyme, sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. Well, pie also has many other references, as I've taught you. Professor Trump added that he was tempted to try some of the recipes, but suspected that sourcing of ingredients would be challenging. Unfortunately, they don't stock unicorn. Okay, so here is, I guess they're boiling down the remains of the unicorn here, or just keeping them in a bucket. So pretty amazing, because I don't know how much fiction would have been written in those days when paper and ink were so valuable. I think there's more pictures. Let me pause this and find out. So I think we do need to take in consideration the unicorn as a bride of Christ, a type of idea being the idea of virginity and strength. And then we have seen a lot of sacrifice of the lion type of ideas, which could be these, could be royal houses talking one to another. If the lion is the United Kingdom, that would be a threat against the United Kingdom if the U.S. does a bunch of death of lion type of stories where, Alison Parker was a Leo and she was the bride of Chris, and she was killed before the wedding day. This kind of symbolism. So just something to think about, and I thought you would enjoy that story. There's a few more unicorn references. So this is a folk song about the lion and the unicorn fighting for the crown. Very interesting. Here are some more of the many coats of arms that have unicorns on them. This one, France, Scotland, Hungary. This one has the serpent. Let's see if I can make this bigger. This one has the serpent that is either eating or giving birth to the man. This could be the cosmic wormhole that the man comes out of, or it could be, a giant serpent eating a man. Czechoslovakia, Switzerland, Germany, You know, I think there really were unicorns, and probably they ate them. They caught them and ate them. What do you guys think? All right, well, I hope this was a little bit of relaxing from some of the grimness of the news. But I do think it is important because it's on so many of these, it's in the symbolism, but in the symbolism or behind the symbolism, and it's on these coat of arms, and so I think we do need to be aware of these things. Here are some valley seals from the Indus Valley. Here's a unicorn mosaic on this church from 1213. It's interesting that a whole bunch of this article is about how unicorns don't exist and how the people who came before us were probably wrong and they just made mistakes. Nothing about that they could have gone extinct, even though we're so familiar with the extinction, especially having to do with hunting. Here it is in the Bible. God brought them out of Egypt. He hath, as it were, the strength of a unicorn. And I saw another scripture recently, I don't know if I can remember it, where I went back and found the Hebrew version, and in the Hebrew it talked about unicorn, and then unicorn was edited out of the English version to the King James, so it was only. This picture of a unicorn shows it to be pretty small. And she's described as a wild. And looking at a lot of this artwork, we see the unicorn associated with these three crescents on a blue background. I would believe these would be exoplanets. This picture says that this is a Knights Templar shield. And here is a Glasgow, that's just the name of the blog. The Ancient Royal Arms of Scotland. This is carved into the, built into the wall of the exterior staircase of the old toll booth on Transgate. The stone was removed when the building was probably dismantled. I think this is a lion in the center. Here's another medieval illumination type of website. This one's called medieval-illumination.blogspot.com. And this article is called Unicorns in Imagery and Myth, Monaceros. And this is interesting. This is from 1950 Italy. It shows a stag and a unicorn. Now, a stag is also an idea of Christ. It's in Europe, the stag is sort of like the caduceus, the medicine idea, and it has to do with original Celtic religion before Rome came and killed everybody. And then everybody after that thought that anything that wasn't Roman was evil. Okay. So, I just wanted to show you also this picture shows another hunt of a unicorn, and they do have a lady involved here. There's a unicorn detail here on this book of Hours. I wish I could make this bigger for you. This unicorn has a rider with a hawk. And then here's another unicorn being hunted. So I don't know why they're not entertaining the idea that this went extinct. Instead they say that it didn't exist or that people couldn't count the horns right. I think that it went extinct.